This is Detective Brian Reeves of the West Memphis Police Department. Currently in the West Memphis Police Department, conducting an investigation for the attempt of triple homicide, case file number 9305-0666. Currently in the office with Jessie Misskelley Jr., birth date 17/75.
Reports from America's past are tales so frightening that they must be real. Brace yourself for true terror with Exploring Mysteries Unsolved. It's May 5th, West Memphis, Arkansas. Police get a call at 8 p.m. from the Bowers residence. John Bowers stated that his son Christopher Bowers had not returned home. He was last seen at 5:30. A second call came in from Terry or Pam Hobbs, called police from Catfish Island around 9:11 to report that her son, Stevie Branch, is missing and last seen around 5:36. The third call came in from the Moore residence to report that their son, 8-year-old Michael Moore, was missing and last seen at 6 p.m. Soon, the local communities took notice of the unnerving situation. It didn't take long for the word to get out that 3 8-year-old boys were missing. Some neighbors came forward and told police that they seen 3 boys on their bikes riding at the end of Macaulay Drive. With this lead in hand, police received assistance from the most concerned parties. This was a difficult search. It was 4 acres, pitch black in the middle of the woods. They were having trouble seeing and navigating through this wooded area. It got to be so late, they finally suspended the search and decided to start again in the morning. The West Memphis Police Department relaunched the search. Neighbors, volunteers, even the Sheriff's Department. They were all looking for these 3 8-year-old boys.
Christopher! Michael! Stephen! Christopher! Stephen!
Search continues. One investigator, walking along the side of the canal, notices a child's shoe floating in the water. The shoe that was found had no shoelaces in it. The investigator radioed for help, saying he found something of interest. One of the officers that responded is Sergeant Mike Allen. Decides to go into the water to retrieve the shoe. Al is only 2 or 3 feet deep, but it's very murky. Allen slipped into the water. When he caught his footing, he realized comes the body of Michael Moore. The condition of Michael's body was horrific. It was a gruesome discovery. Soon investigators swarmed the area to search for the other 2 boys. They found a stick wedged into the mud with the boys' clothes in it. It was apparent that all 3 boys had been murdered. Started as a missing person search. Now, to everybody's horror, turned into a triple murder. Just beyond the crime scene, parents of the boys and other locals have gathered. Soon realize that they must address their mounting curiosity, the daunting task of telling the families.
We returned back to this area and found a shoe in the water, and then one of our detectives went in the water and did find the young boys.
It becomes a very emotional scene when Pam Hobbs finds out what happened to her son. She faints. Search the crime scene. They're baffled by the lack of blood and evidence that is in the area. Using the facts that the boys were found naked, were physically stuck into the mud. Clothing was physically stuck with sticks into the mud to conceal them. Killings were so awful. Then police realized that it was a full moon. It looked like a ritual murder. The concept of ritual sacrifice has recently emerged as a hot topic throughout America. A lot of discussion in the early 1990s.
Okay.
Where were these found, guys?
Green one on the left side there, red one on the right side.
231. 231. Don't let nobody come up here. Don't nobody in here.
Dear of satanic ritual murders, church leaders, and a lot of law enforcement people, I'm very concerned that this was happening. West Memphis Police consult an expert on the occult.
My name is Dale Griffiths. I was a policeman for 26 years. I obtained a PhD and I wrote my dissertation on mind control cults. All kinds of different groups were starting to bud and come up. We in law enforcement knew little about them. In West Memphis, there were certain things relevant to the possibility of occultism being a motive. For example, full moons at times are part of a cultic belief system.
At the crime scene, there wasn't any blood.
The police drew up a list of suspects, and they believed that a young 18-year-old guy in West Memphis named Damien Echols was probably the weirdest kid they knew, probably the one most likely involved in satanic stuff. So they began to focus on him.
Damien Echols lives in a trailer park in West Memphis. He's a high school dropout, and he had been on the radar of police for more than a year. He was one of these guys back in the early 90s that had the dyed hair, jet black, even had painted his nails. And in a small Christian religious town like West Memphis, Damien Echols not only stood out, he scared people.
Vicki Hutchinson walks into her local police department until she hears the gossip that Damien Echols might be involved in the murders. She tells police that she knows a friend of Damien's, a young man, 17 years old, named Jessie Misskelley. He alleges that Jessie told her that his friend Damien liked to drink blood and stuff, and that he's into satanic rituals. Weeks later, Hutchinson approaches the West Memphis Police Department detectives that Damien and Jessie took her on a terrifying journey. Took her to a gathering of people that are interested in the occult. As they pressure Misskelley into confessing, he finally breaks after over 24 hours in an interrogation room.
This is Detective Brian Ridge of the West Memphis Police Department, currently in the West Memphis Police Department, conducting an investigation for the offense of triple homicide, case file number 9305-0666. Currently in the office with Jessie Lloyd Misskelley Jr., birth date 17/75, education as a 9th grade. The place we are in the detective division. Today's date is 6/3/93. The time now is 2:44 p.m. Present in the interview will be Inspector Gary Gitchell and Jessie Misskelley. Jessie, in front of me I have a rights form. It's got your signature at the bottom of it. Is that correct? Your signature? Yes, sir. Okay. We're informing you that we are Detective Sergeant Mike Allen and Detective Brian Ridge. Now, Detective Sergeant Mike Allen is the one that read this form to you earlier. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I was here when he read it to you.
Yes.
All right. Police officers of the West Memphis Police Department. We're conducting an investigation for the offense of capital felony murder, which was committed on or about 5/5/93. Before we ask you any questions, you must know and understand your legal rights. Therefore, we want and advise you that you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And those are your initials on the line in front of that statement?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in court. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
And those are your initials.
Yes, it is.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have him with you during questioning. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
And those are your initials.
Yes, it is.
If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish, no cost to you. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
And those are your initials.
Yes, it is.
If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Those are your initials.
Yes, it is.
You're up here of your own free will. You
Right.
came up here to answer some questions, and basically we found out some information during those questions. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. At the bottom of this form is a waiver of rights. It says, I have read the statement of my rights, and I understand what my rights are. I am willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or force has been used against me. Is all that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And you signed the bottom of the form.
Yes, I did.
Okay. It's witnessed by Michael Wayne Allen and myself, Detective Brian Ridge. Okay, Jessie, let's go straight to that date, 5/5 of 93. Wednesday, early in the morning. You received a phone call, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And who made that phone call?
Jason Baldwin.
All right. What occurred? What did he talk about?
He called me and asked me could I go to West Memphis with him, and I told him no, I had to work and stuff. And then he told me he had to go to West Memphis, so him and Damien went. Then I went with them.
All right. When?
Wednesday.
All right. When did you go with them?
That morning.
At 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I went with them, and then
Now, were you in a car? Whose car were you on?
we walked.
Y'all walked? Okay.
Right, we walked, and then
Where did you go?
we went to Robin Hood.
You went to the Robin Hood. Explain to me where those woods are.
That Blue Beacon truck was.
It's the little patch of woods
Little patch of woods
behind Blue Beacon?
behind it. Right there behind it.
Okay. What occurred while you were there?
When I was there, I saw Damien hit this one boy real bad, and then he started screwing him and stuff, and then
Alright, you've got in front of you a picture that was taken out of the newspaper, I believe. It's got 3 boys, and these are the 3 boys that were killed on that day in Robin Hood Woods. Okay. Which one of those 3 boys is it you say Damien hit? The third picture, which will be...
Michael Moore.
This boy right here?
Yeah.
All right, that's the Byers boy.
Christopher.
That's who you're pointing at?
Mm-hmm.
If you read the captions, the grisly slaying from left, 8-year-old Michael Moore, Stephen Branch, and Christopher Byers. Okay. So, you saw Damien strike Chris Byers in the head.
Right.
What did he hit him with?
He hit him with his fist and bruised him all up real bad. And then Jason turned around and hit Steve Branch.
Okay.
And started doing the same thing. Then the other one took off. Michael Moore took off running. So I chased him and grabbed him and held him till they got there, and then I left.
Okay. Alright. When you get the boys back together, where are you at from the creek?
I was up by the service road.
Up by the service road? Okay. Now, when he hits the first boy, where are they at when he hits him? Are you in the woods? You on the side of the big bayou? You out in the field? Where you
I
at?
was in the woods.
In the woods. Okay, you've been down there in those woods before. Can you describe to me what in those woods, what's the location where you were? Is there a path you go down?
I was down a little path.
Alright, where does that path go to?
It lead out there close to the field, close to the interstate.
Okay.
That's where I was at.
Alright.
I was close by the interstate.
When he hits the first boy, and then Jason hits another boy, and one takes off running, where does he run to?
That one, he runs out, going out the park, and I chased him and grabbed him and brought him back.
Which way does he go? I mean, does he going back towards where the houses
He
are?
goes
Is he
back-
going to Blue Beacon? Is he going out towards the field?
He goes
Where's he
out
running to?
Towards the houses.
Towards the houses.
Where the pipe is that goes across the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
He ran out there, and I called him and brought him back. and then I took off.
Okay. Well, you came back a little bit later, and all 3 boys are tied. Is that right?
And then I took off and went home.
Alright. Have they got their clothes on when you saw them tied?
They had them off.
They had already gotten them off. When he first hit the boy, when Damien first hit the first boy, did they have their clothes on then? Alright. When did they take their clothes off?
Right after they beat up all 3 of them and beat them up real bad.
Beat them up real bad. And then they took their clothes off.
And
Then they tied them.
then they tied them up, tied their hands up. They start screwing them and stuff, cutting them and stuff. And I saw it and I turned around and looked. And then I took off running. I went home. And then they called me and asked me how come I didn't stay. I told them I just couldn't.
Just couldn't stay for that.
I couldn't stand to see what they were doing to them.
Okay. Now, when it's going on, when it's taking place, you saw somebody with a knife. Who had a knife? Jason had a knife. What did he cut with a knife? What did you see him cut, or who did you see him cut?
I saw him cut one of the little boys.
All right, where did he cut him at?
He was cutting him in the face.
Cutting him in the face. All right. Another boy was cut, I understand. Where was he cut at?
At the bottom.
On his bottom? Was he face down and he was cutting on him, or?
Now, you talking about bottom, do you mean right here? In his growing area? Okay. So
You know what his penis is?
Yeah, that's where he was cut at.
That's where he was cut.
Which boy was that?
Right there.
You're talking about the Byers boy again? Okay.
Are you sure that he was the one that was cut?
That's when I seen him cutting on.
Do you know what a penis is? Is that where he was cutting?
That's where I seen him going down there. And he was on his back. I seen him going down there like that real close to his hands and stuff. And I saw some blood and that's when I took off.
Were y'all close to the creek at that point?
Yes.
Where was the little boy actually at?
He was close. About.
Alright, you know where the barrel is.
Right.
Alright, and you know where the little creek is that goes out to the expressway. And it doesn't have a lot of water in it, but it's got some water in it and it's flowing through there. Which side of that creek were you on? Were you on the Memphis side of the creek, or were you on the Blue Beacon side of that creek?
Blue Beacon.
On the Blue Beacon. So there's like a tall bank. Where were you at on that bank?
I was standing up on top.
Alright, where were they at? Did you hear any more hollering or anything?
No.
Alright. You went home. And about what time was it that all this was taking place?
They called me about.
I'm not saying when they called you. I'm saying what time was it that you were actually there in the park?
I was there about 12.
About noon? Okay. Was it after school? Had let out?
I didn't go to school.
What, these other boys?
No, they skipped school.
They skipped
They
school.
was going to catch their bus or stuff and they was on their bikes. So.
Alright. They were on their bikes. Where were their bikes at?
They laid their bikes down when they came out there to the when they hollered for them, told them to come out there.
Where did they lay their bikes down? That's what I'm asking.
I don't know where they laid their bikes down at. Cause I was behind Damien and them, way behind them.
Okay.
And when they hollered, then I seen them boys.
Little boys came on over. Had Damien seen these boys before? Has he done things with them before? Has he just been watching them? Has he had sex with them before? Has he ever had sex with any of them before?
He's been watching them.
He's been watching them. You mentioned earlier that at one of the meetings you went to with this cult thing, they had some pictures. Describe those pictures for me.
It had some houses, the trees and stuff.
Okay. Had somebody taken pictures of these boys? Were they in the houses or were they in these trees when they took those pictures?
They were at the houses.
At the houses. Did they take like one picture of one boy?
It was in a group.
Always three?
It was a group of pictures of three. All three of them.
All three of them would generally be together?
Mm-hmm.
How many pictures did you see altogether?
I just saw one.
Okay. And it had these same three boys in it?
Mm-hmm.
You're certain of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nate, did you say the boys skipped school that day? These little boys did?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
They was going to going somewhere, and like I said, Damien and them left before I did. I told them I'd meet them there and stuff. I had to get ready and stuff. I'd meet them there. And it was early in the morning, so they went ahead and met me. They went ahead and went up there, and then I came up, later on behind them.
What time did you get there?